ultimately, you've got a whole bunch of cells in your body that need blood flow. How much blood flow those cells need is dependent upon how busy they are, how active they are. So there needs to be a way, the body needs to match blood flow to blood flow need, right? We don't want to circulate blood everywhere all the time. That's a waste, and we'd have to have a much larger blood volume. Okay, so blood flow is controlled according to tissue need. Most of that control is utterly automatic. We call it autoregulation. We're going to talk at length about it. Autoregulation works in all tissues all the time as long as there's enough blood pressure to make it work. Okay? Active tissues can dramatically increase the amount of blood flowing through them. Like not subtly, but like 20 to 30 times more. That should tell you that at any given time, most of your capillaries are pretty sleepy, right? If you can increase 20-fold the blood flow, it means you got a lot of capillaries that you're not using in the intervening times. All right, so big change in flow through the vessels. The heart, though, cannot increase its cardiac output by 20 times. Okay, about the best a fit heart can do is 7 times. Everybody else, 4 times, right? So it can increase, but it can't increase that much. So how do we balance those two? The heart can't increase as much as the tissues need it to increase. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the outflow of the heart and we're going to direct it only to the places that it's needed, right? So we're not going to increase blood flow 20 to 30 times everywhere. We're only going to increase that in the areas that need it. Okay, so the arterioles are the controllers of blood flow. They are matching the tissue needs to the tissue blood supply. The factors they're using to do that: temperature, pH, oxygen, and CO2. All right, so let's go through those. A busy tissue makes heat, right? All of our metabolism generates heat. If there's more metabolism, there's more heat. So temperature, when the temperature is higher, arterioles relax. High temperature, arterioles relax. When arterioles relax, more blood goes through, right? Because when they get bigger, when they relax, the vessel size increases. That lowers resistance and increases the amount of blood flowing through. Okay, there'll be more times to get that. So temperature, as temperature goes up, blood flow increases. pH, our metabolism makes acid. So as the pH decreases, arterioles relax. In other words, as pH goes down, blood flow goes up. Why? Because how do we get acidic in the first place? Busy tissue. What does a busy tissue need? Needs blood flow. Okay, so when pH decreases, blood flow goes up. Oxygen. When tissue is busy, the oxygen concentration falls, right? Because it's gobbling up the oxygen. Well, what does that tissue need? It needs more oxygen. How is it going to get it? By more blood flow. So when oxygen decreases, arterioles vasodilate and cause an increase in blood flow, therefore bringing more oxygen. And then CO2. Busy tissues create more CO2. CO2 concentration goes up. So a busy tissue has a high CO2 concentration. When CO2 levels go up, arterioles dilate, allowing more blood flow through to provide for the needs of that tissue and to wash out the extra CO2 that is being produced. Remember, blood has 2 functions. It delivers and it takes away. Okay, it delivers nutrients like oxygen and burnable products. It takes away carbon dioxide and acids. All right. So that, in a nutshell, is autoregulation, which we're going to talk about again. Okay. So that's blood flowing to tissues according to needs. Cardiac output is the sum of all the local tissue blood flow. Right. Remember, there's only one heart, so cardiac output is the amount of blood that's pushed out of that heart per minute. this can't change as much as this can, right? So the cardiac output can't change nearly as much as vessels can change their size, redirecting blood flow. Okay, then putting the sort of two parts together. Arterial pressure is regulated independently of both local blood flow and cardiac output. Okay? One of our big topics in this first unit is the control of circulation. Well, that point that cardiac output is controlled, arterial pressure is controlled, separate from one another, and the local blood flow is also controlled. Those are three independent variables. Now, cardiac output and pressure relate to one another, but they are controlled independently. So how do we do this? We have our baroreceptors providing information into the autonomic nervous system. Okay. The sympathetic nervous system responds to those pressure inputs. So sympathetic nervous system can go up or it can go down. Both result in changes to TPR, which is total peripheral resistance, as well as changes to cardiac output. Sympathetic system on the heart can affect contraction strength. On the venous system can affect venoconstriction, effectively increasing plasma volume. And then on the arterial system, we get constriction of the arterioles. And then the kidney manages blood volume and baseline vessel tone. Okay, so that's a high-level view.